Still just down the road, gives final instructions to both these fighters.
Seconds out. Round one.
And in the red corner it is Ivette Garcia, wearing the red and white shorts and black vest, boxing out of Barcelona, Catalonia, in against Kate Radomska, based in Waterford, originally from Poland, wears the black with green trim. Radomska knows this venue, has boxed here before, made her debut here back in September of last year. Her second fight live on FightZone, also in Scotland. That at Trump Turnberry when she was in against Claudia Ferenzi, that in February of this year. And she catches Garcia early with a good right hand and has really established centre of the ring. Radomska, the 32-year-old. And again, just trying to show who's boss in there. I'm delighted to say, joining me on commentary at the Crown Plaza in the fabulous city of Glasgow is the boxing oracle himself, Mr. Steve Lillis.
Good evening, Dominic. Yeah, you said she tried to show his boss. She's showing that Kate can't miss with the right hand. Very confident young lady. I saw her at the weigh-in yesterday, and her biggest issue yesterday was who would braid her hair for her. A very good start for her, very ambitious. Only had, 2 professional fights, as you mentioned, but already talking of world titles very early in the career, even though the world champions like...
Yep. She's very seasoned in combat, though, isn't she, with the K1 and Muay Thai and all that. As we see so many fighters now, it seems, Steve, that are doing that, are crossing over from kickboxing and Thai boxing and all the rest of it, and they're combat ready. Yeah, and despite a limited amateur career, she still won a Haringey Box Cup that people aren't familiar. Very tough competition to win over 2 days. Well, Garcia is game.
4 rounds. Kate totally 6 rounds.
So a bit more movement in the opening stage of the second round from Garcia, who is trying to put it on Radomska.
She had to try something, because there was no success at all in the opening session.
And she's just trying to claim centre of the ring. There's a cut to the right eye, actually, of Radomska. Little nick, a little stream of blood trickling down her eye.
It's running down the side of her eye, so it's not the sort of cut that she'll be worried too much about. This, but it's a new experience for her. Wouldn't have been cut before, I shouldn't think, as an amateur. Possibly in other combat sports.
Well, it might just give a little psychological boost to Ivette Garcia.
Referee just warned her there for her head, the Spanish lady.
Well, I think it was when she came out so quickly at the start of the round that maybe the heads clashed, and she was bullish, wasn't she? So again, those big, wide, wild hooks.
You can see them come in the right hands, can't you? We're in Glasgow. She's telegraphing them from Edinburgh, I think.
Well, that cut's worsened a little bit from Radomska's point of view. So it's going to annoy her, that, isn't it?
It looks quite nasty, but it's running down the side of her eye. It's not the sort of thing that would cause a referee to look at it at this stage.
Of course, the corner will work on that. As you say, it isn't going into the eye.
Certainly on her mind. She's not letting that right hand go like she did in the opening 2 minutes.
Well, just lets the 1-2 go there on that occasion, but it has been really Radomska just boxing within herself a little bit in the latter stages of this round.
Yeah, since the cut, it's all been off the jab, hasn't it, from Radomska division.
With a fabulous Polish-Irish accent as well.
Yes, Brent. With your roots, you'll love that accent, won't you, Dom?
Always. Not Polish. This is on the front foot again, Garcia at the start of the third. But Radomska again, just showing the difference, really, in levels. She gets that right hand going. She can't miss. Now just having a bit of fun now, trying to G Garcia towards her. gets caught for trouble there. She's got to be careful, really, and can't have too much fun in there. Good straight shots.
One thing with Garcia, however critical you might be of her ability, she hasn't stopped trying. She's always looked to throw shots, even if they're telegraphed and you can see them coming.
Yeah, I think she's already shown she's a tough operator. And you said the word raw, which I think sums it up really, but she has come to give it a real go, the 28-year-old.
What I will say with female boxing, as obviously it's still in its infancy, and we accept it's mushrooming, which is wonderful. When these female, should we say, journey boxers, journey fighters, travelling fighters come over, they always seem to try. Whereas you get some of these guys we come in for imported male fighters, they're just looking for the floor. You never see that from a female fighter. They're all in there fighting with pride. They care.
Well, we have seen the absolute pinnacle of women's boxing, of course, last week. Sensational Katie Taylor, Amanda Serrano. Very good one already to look forward to in just a week's time right here. Just over the road at the Hydro here in Glasgow, of course. It's all about Hannah Rankin and defending those belts against a very determined-looking Alejandra Ayala. We saw her in the ring before, Steve, and you were talking to them. You've spent time with them both. I mean, I've spent a lot of time with Hannah Rankin, but not with Ayala. I've been really impressed with her tonight, looking at her, how big she is, and how just super confident she is.
Very, very sweet girl. Get that out of the way. She's, I say, the size of her is obvious, and also she's been here for 4 or 5 days. So by the time it comes to fight time, that 8-hour time difference for Tawana will be well out of the system. She's been given every chance here to prepare, and she acknowledges that as well.
Yep, really looking forward to that. Could be a fantastic night. Well, we expect a fantastic night here in Glasgow next week. Live on FightZone, of course. Hannah Rankin, the WBA and IBO super welterweight champion. And Kate Radomska wants to get in amongst the mix as quickly as she can. She's got plenty of work to do, obviously, to get to that kind of level, but she's gone about the business very well tonight and really has caught Garcia on the ropes there. Good flurry, good combination. And Garcia hanging on now.
Yeah, but she did the second round when she was cut. She does everything off the jab, but the cut's been sorted out, and now she's starting to let those hands go again and dominate, as she has throughout the previous 3 rounds.
Good shot selection now, jab to the body, then good head work as well from Radomska's. Pretty much having it all her own way now, bar the odd, fairly crude challenge from Garcia. Oh, good right hand again.
We're close up, and if you look at the difference between their feet, the footwork between the pair, very telling.
Yeah, moves very well, Radomska. And again, the right hand, a good straight right, finds the home. A good end to the round for Radomska.
Thrilling.
I was talking to the crew that's with us, the FightZone crew tonight on the way in, and one of the guys said, do you remember that fight at the Tower Hotel where the little girl came in and bashed up the other girl in like seconds? Joanna Wanyu. Do you remember?
She really can fight.
Johanna Wanyu.
I think the plan was for her an 8 round and then get her a world title fight. And I think for some reason it fell through, but I'm sure we're going to see her very, very soon.
She was spiteful, incredible. She just went for it from the first bell. It was brilliant.
Phenomenal. French girls moved up from flyweight to bantamweight.
Good amateur. Still wants to box at Paris, I think.
You mentioned the amateurs there. I wonder if we're going to see more and more of this happening, pros going back. Team GB, the Sheffield setup's now moving into professional boxing.
Yep. It is a very interesting landscape at the minute. Oh, good combination from Radomska. Does tend to wake Garcia up a little bit when Radomska has the success.
That was the best shot that Radomska had landed, because Garcia felt that to her boots and momentarily, just for a split second, just froze. You know, all credit to Garcia. I think she's flown here by herself, got ready, got in the ring. And she's not winning, but she's not letting anybody down in her efforts.
No, she's still slinging, no doubt about that. And Radomska is just using the skills, using the ring now. Boxing clever. It's often such a tricky thing anyway for a fighter to be in there with someone who is... So far, so good in the professional journey of Kate Radomska, unless anything dramatic happens now. She has to be wary of those big, wild swings from Ivette Garcia. It has been a job well done from the Polish-born woman from Waterford. And again, excellent work from Kate Radomska. When she moved to Ireland, just wondering, 2008,
yeah,
Katie Taylor was a big star already then. I'm just wondering how much of an influence it may have played in her going into the boxing side of the combat game.
Yeah, I asked her about that, and she's inspired everybody, you know, all female, you know, not just in Ireland, all female boxers, which you can understand why, but she didn't specifically say she started boxing because of Kate, even though Kate was having mad amateur success then.
Well, just moving Garcia back now in the latter stages of this opening contest here at the Crown Plaza in Glasgow, live on FightZone. And still Garcia is game, still she's trying to land a big shot.
She hasn't stopped trying. She has landed occasionally, but from what she's thrown, there's not been one punch that Kate's been worried by. Maybe that's why she's happy to let it tee off and try and trade from close in.
Well, Garcia, this just her second professional contest. Does hear out the final bell. That's been a good control. Ivette Garcia corner. She's played her part. She's called to the centre of the ring, as is Kate Radomska, so we can get the scorecard, Darren Maxwell's card, with our MC, Greg Houston.
Ladies and gentlemen,